Okay, great. All right. Thank you everyone for your patience while we continue to navigate Zoom. A relatively new way of meeting. All right. So good morning. I'm Dr. Libby Cope. I'm the health officer for the Makah tribe, and this is our update for the public EOC briefing for December 7th. We have 0 active cases of COVID in Nia Bay. I will certainly want to be clear that that's active known cases. It's possible that somebody with COVID is here and just hasn't been tested or doesn't know it, especially with our very high vaccination rate. It's possible to have COVID without symptoms. Nevertheless, it's certainly reassuring that we have no active cases that we are aware of at this time in Nia Bay. We have not had any new cases in the last 2 weeks. We've had 160 cases total throughout the pandemic. Right now, we have no households in quarantine and no individuals who are in the same household with someone who's tested positive. We've seen a drastic reduction in the number of cases since our last spike in November. Our last spike earlier this fall. So actually, our spike started in August, continued through September, and then decreased. As you can see, the last 2 dots are October and November. Last month. Clallam County has also seen a decrease in cases, but they are kind of flowing, just staying steady, holding steady at a rate that is among the high hundreds or low 200s per 100,000. Their percent positive has stayed between 5 and 7% for the last week or so, I believe, but that is down from where it was. However, it's still certainly high risk. And you can see just from this graph here, just how much those cases increased for Clallam County as well during the fall. Washington State has a similar graph. I think those graphs look very similar, actually. So one of these graphs is a repeat of the other. So I'm sorry, I'm not sure which one is which, but I do know from looking at them previously that they are quite similar, that there's a decrease, but also a plateau for both Clallam County and Washington State. The United States is starting to see an increase in cases. So as you can see here from the tail end, an increase in cases, a slight increase in hospitalizations, and a slight increase in fatalities, unfortunately, and a slight dip in the number of tests. So that speaks to what I was talking about earlier with not knowing necessarily about the amount of COVID that might be out there. And these numbers just show that change. So that here's the increase in new cases, a slight decrease in testing, increase in hospitalization, and an increase in fatalities. Of course, the thing that's been in the news for the last 2 weeks is the Omicron variant that was detected in South Africa. It was declared a variant of concern by the World Health Organization at the end of last month. There's a lot of speculation, and certainly what is for sure true is that experts and scientists are worried, and they're asking questions and trying to do as much study as they can to find out if this variant will spread more easily. Does it cause more severe disease? Do their current treatments, such as monoclonal antibodies, still work? And do our current vaccines for COVID still work against this variant? There's a lot that's still unknown. It will likely be a couple of weeks before we have any concrete information. But certainly what is still recommended is that the very best thing that you can do is get vaccinated and then follow those simple steps of reducing your social circle or your possible exposure through limiting the number of people that you have close contact with and wearing masks, et cetera. And then of course, continuing to do all of the behaviors that we know support our immune system beyond those things, such as getting sleep, healthy diet, exercise, et cetera. We do know that the vaccines are for sure working on the more widespread Delta variant that we have here in the United States. So all of the data coming into the Centers for Disease Control, which is also coming in from Health and Human Services and various data collection points, show that an unvaccinated individual is 5 times higher to be diagnosed with COVID or to contract COVID, and 13 times higher to die from that COVID infection. So there's really not a lot in medicine that's as clear as those kind of statistics. So I just want to be very clear that the vaccine is working. And I'm also clear that it's working here in Neah Bay. So we have a vaccination rate of 85% of all of our Neah Bay residents who are age 5 and up have received at least one vaccine, and 80.2% are fully vaccinated of our residents 5 and up, which is excellent. And we have opportunities for more, especially want to emphasize the need for a booster. So boosters will help. My most recent story that I heard was about a booster breakthrough in a long-term care resident in Column County. So they had the full two vaccines and then had a second, a booster. They still got COVID, but they had no symptoms, which is relatively unheard of, that someone, a long-term care resident, would be diagnosed positive COVID and have literally zero symptoms. So that, I think, speaks volumes about how effective the booster vaccine is, even for breakthrough infections. So please, if you haven't gotten your booster yet, come on down to our vaccine clinic, which is on Thursday from 12 to 4 at the community gym. Boosters are available, authorized, and recommended for everyone ages 18 and up. And you can get a different booster from the vaccine that you originally got. And so, in fact, I highly recommend, especially anyone who got Johnson & Johnson, to come in and get that booster. And I do recommend the Moderna vaccine booster more than the other ones. And it doesn't matter if you had Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson beforehand, the Moderna repeatedly has shown to be more effective. And it's just a half dose for the Moderna, which seems to be, at least anecdotally, correlated with fewer side effects from the vaccine. And then we also have the pediatric Pfizer vaccine for anyone ages 5 and up. And then we do allow walk-ins to come into these clinics. Of course, we welcome anyone who's showing up for the vaccine, but it will help us run smoother and faster if you call in and let us know ahead of time. So call 2233 before Thursday and let us know that you're coming in for the vaccine, and we'll have all of the paperwork ready for you. Lastly, I want to comment on our mental and emotional health. Of course, has been impacted significantly by the pandemic, and especially the ongoing long-term nature of the pandemic. We did do a behavioral health survey, which closed several weeks ago now. We've got those results in, and they're currently being reviewed. But we also have a mental health first aid course coming up. It'll be next week on Thursday and Friday, December 16th and 17th. It's from 8 a.m. to noon, and we are going to have the course in person. Of course, there'll be masks and social distancing. The location is to be determined, so we'll send out more information. But really want to encourage everyone on this call, even if you've already done mental health first aid, to come in again and get a refresher. The course is meant to teach and to lead the participants in learning 5 specific steps to supporting, reaching out to, and appropriately supporting or meaningfully supporting anyone who's having a mental health crisis. So that's it. If you have any questions, you're certainly welcome to call Stick or call me directly. I've got my direct line there at the bottom, 645-2224.
All right. Well, thank you for the update, Dr. Cope. Appreciate all the hard work you and your staff has been doing and continue to do. Would recommend that anybody on the call would like to attend that class, please do. It's a very good course. So jump in if you can. Next, we'll move on to Patty for the organization updates.
Good morning, everybody. Tomorrow, the small business payments will be sent out in the mail, and this will be the final payment from the American Rescue Funds. Due to the amount of applications that were submitted this year, it is a reduced amount, and that'll be the final payment. Just a reminder that the final deadline to turn in your vaccine documentation is Monday, December 13th, and the final checks for the immunization incentives will be issued on Wednesday, December 15th, and put in the mail. That's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
All right, well, thank you, Patty. We'll continue to monitor the chat, see if there's any questions. Thank you for everything that you do and all your staff. So keep it up and much appreciated. I'll move into the Makah EOC updates. Just want to send out a reminder to everybody, please slow down whenever you're going through the checkpoint. You may be asked a question. Just be careful up there because there is staff in the area and we don't want to see any accidents or anything when you're leaving or coming to the reservation. The prison bypass will remain in use for a while. We have not got a solid date for when the road will be cleared and that slide will be cleared up in the CQ Clown Bay area. So that will remain in effect. There was a few safety measures put in place, which were markers and the stoplights. So please continue, if you use the bypass route, to watch for traffic coming and going. Also, obey the traffic control device that is up there. It's very important. We've had a few close calls with oversized vehicles and smaller vehicles in transit on the improved area. And we'd hate to have an accident up there because of the response time that would take emergency responders and everybody to get up there to clear up an accident. So please be safe, be careful, take your time getting through there. And there may also be people in the roadway during business hours for technicians and everybody working in the area to mend that slide and work through that problem that is up there. Also wanted to remind everybody that the non-Makah visitors application is on the stick.org website. So the holidays are coming up. Please apply for that. Put your people you'd like to come visit. It is a process for approval, so it may take a day or two, may take a little bit longer depending on the traffic on the website. It was down for a couple of days, but now it's fully functional again. So please utilize that site for any non-Makah visitors that you'd like to see come in. I'd also like to remind everybody, if you do not receive the regroup emergency notifications, you can also sign up for that on the stick.org website. Please continue to check the stick.org website for updated information. It's a great resource to be able to go to and ask questions and also look at what information is out there and is posted at this time. I would like to put out a call for everybody who is on this call that we are in need of EMS and fire volunteers. So if you know anybody who is interested, please direct them my way, or they can deal with the Assistant Fire Chief, John Brunk, or the EMS coordinator, Dan Drugi. So we would like to put that out to the public to take an interest in the community safety. And we do need assistance at this time, and we will need assistance in the future in addressing emergency situations throughout the community. So that is all that I have for now. I don't see any questions posed in the box at this time. So I will start to wrap it up. I wanted to thank everybody for your participation. As of right now, there's 30 people on the call, and this is great. Can you continue to get this information out? We will have a monthly public EOC briefing. So it'll be the same day of this every month that we will continue to do this. And as we start to envelop the COVID response, more additional EOC information may be provided at this time. So it won't be specifically for the COVID-19 pandemic response. So if there's any issues that come in, please feel free to contact the EOC staff. And looks like one question on there. Yes, Makah can still come in. Tinker. Wanted to thank you all again. Thanks for participating. Want to thank the Makah EOC staff, the STIC EOC staff and staff members, and also the Makah Tribal Council for the support in addressing these pandemic situations. And also, it seems reoccurring EOC incidents that we come across monthly. So thank you guys. Please stay safe. Support the vaccination effort. Get out. If you're not vaccinated, please promote that so we can keep moving on and hopefully one day reopen and get back to a semi-normal state that we were used to before pandemic. So thank you, everybody. Stay safe and have a great day, and we'll talk to you in a month. Thank you.